Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? This video I wanted to make specifically about kitchen islands and how to make them, how it works. Here in just a few minutes you're going to see the process of building that kitchen island. It's right behind me. I'm not sitting up there right now because it's all dirty and covered in shit, but throughout this I'll throw some B-roll in of when it's when it's after the maids have come and it's in nice clean condition and it's looking good. I'll show you some of that B-roll so you can see what it looks like. But anyways, I clearly remember when I was building my kitchen island, when I was like, okay, I want a kitchen island. Well, this is not really a kitchen island. It's connected over there to the wall, but it's basically an island. But I remember when I was ready to make that, I was looking around like, do I just buy one or how does it work? Like, what do you do? Like, there are places on Etsy, like you can get on Etsy and buy custom kitchen islands, like that's a thing. Now what I'm hoping that this video will help with is people that are in my same boat or we're looking around and trying to figure stuff out. And instead of spending that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a custom kitchen from Etsy, the easier way to go about things is to, number one, figure out the dimensions you want your island to be, and number two, kind of base it around the cabinets that you want inside of it. So if you want a kitchen island, like for instance, mine has a dishwasher and it has a sink in it. So on the far right end, when I'm looking at the stove and I'm looking at the kitchen island, there's a dishwasher on the right end, there's a sink right next to it, and the rest is cabinets. You might want an island without a sink and a dishwasher in it. That's totally up to you. Me, it worked great because in the place where I wanted my island, there was already plumbing for those things. That made things easy. That's another thing you have to think about is plumbing a little bit. My application was barely moving pipes a little bit. There wasn't too much moving of any type of plumbing. It pretty much just went right back where it was. But the whole entire gist of the island is getting cabinets and you're building just a frame around them. Just 2x4s around them, and you want the 2x4s to be, you know, just a quarter of an inch at the most above these cabinets, and that's what your island top, your countertop rests on, is those. Because if you because you could just take some kitchen cabinets and set some, you could just buy some kitchen cabinets and set some plywood on top and paint it, and that could be an island, sure. But is that really going to hold much weight? Is it going to be sturdy over time? Probably not. Those cabinets, most cabinets are not built out of solid wood. Now at Lowe's, if you have a Lowe's in your area, there is a cabinet at Lowe's. It's like 60 inches and it has a sink in it and like 2 drawers or something like that. It's like 60 inches, I believe. So it's a 60 inch, which is 5 feet cabinet for like $100. That could be like the cheapest island you could ever build. You take that, you build some 2x4s around it, like a frame up around it, and then you could set some MDF or plywood on top of it and then just paint it and you have yourself an island. Basically, this is just one of the things where you can get creative and you can figure out what you want. You could put a microwave on the side of your island. There's a bunch of different stuff you could do with your island, and if you have a contractor, you can talk to them about that. But if you have any kind of building skill at all, you could probably do it yourself. It's not a huge undertaking, it's just time consuming, and that's all. So if you have any questions for me about this specific process, throw them in the comments down below. You're about to see now the video of how this was built, our process of doing it, and it wasn't the best cover. I mean, I covered a lot of the stuff, but not a whole bunch. But there's definitely some good advice in there. So here we go, on to that. So this is the base of where the cabinets are gonna go.
Are you keeping this box?
I'm trying to make a video!
Are you keeping this Arlo box?
I don't know yet. What's in it? Is there anything in it?
No, there's nothing in it.
Okay, then I don't want it. So this is the base of all the cabinets where they're gonna sit. Nate's farting. I don't know why.
Were you trying to say something?
No, never. So this is the width, and then like like studs kind of go in here, right? Like that builds this wall.
Yep. Yeah.
And then this gets built up with the cabinets in it, and then we'll have one big thing. Alright, so right now we got the drywall going up onto here. And to kind of explain this process, it's basically a wall that's going around the cabinets because you can't set a countertop directly on top of the cabinets. You got to support it with 2 befores.
2 buffers.
Now how much higher is this going to be than the cabinets, like this frame?
Oh, just enough so that way it just takes off the weight.
So like quarter inch?
Yeah, quarter inch is more than enough.
So, okay, so you take your...
Yeah, as long as when you level everything out, your support wall is just a hair higher than what your countertop is.
So that's that, and drywall it in. We paint this outside, whatever color we're going to paint it. And then what we decided to do is leave this closet, like I was saying earlier, and we're gonna put a 12-inch deep cabinet in there. So that way I have some cabinet space up there, some storage space. And then the island is gonna be there to there, all the way down to there, with an overhang for seating. So next step after this is, I believe, is cabinets go in, and then we get a countertop guy out here to epoxy. And that's a progress update for today. All right, so now we're installing the cabinets. And remember guys, these are just cabinets from Lowe's. These are the, what was the Wintucket? Cloud color. It's like this gray. And there's just one, is it an 18 by 36 or something? There's a 36 for the sink, and then right here will be the dishwasher once these all get scooted in. Dishwasher goes right there. And so to install them, just drilling holes in the side here. You'd think they'd have some kind of like proprietary built-in clamping technology. So when Joe Blow goes to buy cabinets, they then have to drill into the side of them in order to attach them together. So there's that. The weird thing about this setup is that once we get to this end, we have to raise this up a little bit, right? Yeah, something like that.
The floor kind of slopes back that direction, so as we go, there'll be, in order to keep the tops level, start on this side since it slopes down that way. We'll build it up so that way everything maintains level.
Clamp them down. And then so what do? You just put a screw in one side of it?
Yep, you just go one side to the other, and usually you want to put it on the side where it'll be most concealed.
Yeah.
So, like if you have a door, you want to put it on the hinge side. Since we don't have doors, we have drawers. We'll put it on the, we'll just kind of hide it. You won't really ever see them on the drawer side because the drawers will always be in the way anyway.
True.
But on this other cabinet, we'll put them over here. On this side, if you were to attaching another cabinet, you would want to put them over on this side. But since we're attaching a drawer to it, then we'll just put them through the drawer side.
Gotcha.
So if you were attaching one to the other side, you could drill through, somewhere close to the hinge where it was.
Where it's not super, yeah.
Yeah, where it wasn't super visible.
Who is it? Wait a second, I'm coming.
Housekeeping.
So if you're Captain Joe Blow of the SS Average DIY Squad ship, then doing this might be a little bit more than a one-man job for sure. So if you're buying modular cabinets like this to make an island this size, you might want to hire a contractor or get a friend that knows what the heck they're doing, or maybe you know what you're doing, who knows. But the other cool thing with Lowe's is they have this one that's like 60 inches, and it's like $150 for it. It's like really, really cheap. And so for like, it's like $150, and it's a 60-inch thing. It has a sink thing in it, I believe. I'll link it down below, the one I saw there. So you could, in theory, just take that, get level ground, set it on that, and that could be a smaller island if you're looking for something not this big, which this is pretty big right here. So for the average Joe, that might be easier. That's like one thing you can't mess up. If you mess that up, you're kind of fuzzed, right?
Yeah, if you don't get everything nice and clean and square, then overall your countertop will show the effects of it.
And then what are we doing up here? What's this? We're putting like a...
Yeah, so we're going to build this up just a little bit higher than the countertop to take the weight off of the cabinets. So I built this about 1/2 inch short, and then that way I can always add, because we had such a slope to the floor, I can always add a little bit to the back of this. So yeah. I left it about a 1/2 or 3/8 of an inch. A little bit too small, and then I'll add either a 1/2 inch or so just to give it just enough, so it's just a hair higher than what the cabinets are, so to take up pressure off of the cabinets for the countertop.
Boom, boom.
Especially if you're doing a heavy countertop. So
yeah, you don't want your countertop resting on this. Right. You want it on your wall frame, whatever you do. Yeah. Yeah,
especially if you've got a significant amount of weight from your countertop onto your.
Yeah. And we're doing polymer, epoxy, sorry. we're doing epoxy, so it's not gonna be super heavy, but still it's gonna be better to not be laying on this. All these little shims that they're putting in are like how you fine tune everything to get it level, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so when we screw or secure our cabinet to the wall, a lot of times you'll get a lot of back pressure from the screw pulling the cabinet one direction or another. So these shims allow us to alleviate that problem. So it gives instead of having a gap back here and every time you screw it'll close that gap. So these shims will allow us to allow the cabinet to stay in place so that way it doesn't move or.
Well, like the bottom ones right there, you were just kicking in a little bit.
Yep.
I saw it raised up the cabinet just a little bit to make it level.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, because like I said, so over here we had up against this wall, we don't have much of a shim underneath it. And then kind of as we go, we'll have more and more shims because the floor kind of slopes that direction. So in order to maintain level, the floor goes down. So we want to maintain that level. So the further we go, the more shims we're going to need.
So I got an uneven floor. Thanks so much, 1976 construction workers. Freaking uppercut you. Now we got this bad boy going up in here.
Nice tight fit.
Nice tight fit.
Toy. Good
nice and toy. Gotta get one. This is gonna be a nice big island. That's gonna be our overhang right there. Right now we are installing the first
Day 20.
layer countertop on the. This is the. What's this? What is this? This is wood.
Plywood.
This is wood, and it's going on top of where our frame was. Then we built out a little bit of support underneath here to hold that in place while it is setting or whatever you call it. What?
It stays. It's a countertop support for the end wall there. So it's going to stay. It'll get painted and secured to the countertop.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
We got to have something to attach the countertop to, so that would be it.
Boom. Our MDF goes on.
Yep.
Maryland Department Farming Material. It was pioneered in Maryland. And then they outsource it to other places.
Outsource it to me.
Yeah. We got a direct plug from Maryland for the MDF. This MDF's like a medium dense feel, right?
Yeah, medium density fiberboard.
Half and half.
So this gives us a nice smooth clean surface for the epoxy to sit on, so that way it doesn't get all your ripples and gives you a nice clean finished surface. So
Ripples and whatnot.
Ripples and whatnot too.
Ripples and whatnot. Now what's this gap about? You gotta explain the offset there.
This offset
Yeah.
is so our countertop is actually longer than our sheets are, and so the 3/4 plywood that we put underneath, we have about a 20-inch piece on the end. So coming back the other way, we'll have our 20-inch piece on this side, so that way our joints don't overlap.
Boom, boom.
And it gives it a little bit more structure.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
Basically, if you don't do it right, it's wrong.
Second piece. That's a tight fit, boys.
Right there, like a finger in the butt.
That's a tight. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and so what you didn't see after the video was done was we did epoxy. I didn't want to make the whole video. I filmed the epoxy process, but I didn't want to make a whole video about it. We actually started with black. We'd paint the countertop black, and then we put a clear epoxy over it with a little bit of sheen to it, like a little bit of glitter or sparkles or whatever you'd call them. I thought that would look pretty cool, and it did. The epoxy guy wasn't like he was kind of new to it, so this wasn't like he wasn't super experienced with it, so it didn't turn out great. Also, the black was just fingerprint. Anytime you touched it, it was just fingerprints everywhere. It looked filthy. So I decided to go with white instead. So we went with white next time because he had to come back and fix it anyway. We were like, you know what, let's just paint it white and do the epoxy. And he said, okay, and we did that. So that's what I ended up with is this white countertop, which is much better than the black was. It looks way different for sure. I think it makes the room brighter. Well, it literally does. But it definitely kind of opens up the room a little bit. But yeah, that's my kitchen island peninsula thingy. That's not really an island because it's connected to the wall over there. Whatever. Anyways, I hope this video helped you out. Again, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments down below. If you like home renovation stuff like this, hit the subscribe button. This channel is all about that. And if you like the video, I mean, you're grown up. You can hit the like button if you want. You know, I'm not gonna beg you to do it. But anyways, that's the end of the video, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.